Is there a generational divide in the UK? Yes, 100%. There's a divide between a generation who expect to receive support from the state and a generation who do not, who got their university degrees for free and bought houses at a third of their wages. The older generation grew up on the belief that if you participated in society, society would pay you back. The younger generation, or me, do not believe that to be true. I made a video suggesting that we should means test the state pension, mainly because all the data suggests there are so many old people that we're going to have to raise taxes. And for me, this would be the final insult to my generation. So my idea was to simply make wealthy pensioners live on the wealth that they'd accumulated. And the comment section was a bloodbath. And not because I wanted to make millionaires pay for their own retirement, but because they believed that this would be breaking the social contract that they believed they signed up to. Millennials and Gen Z have had the opposite experience. Our social contract was get a degree, get a job, work hard, and anything is possible. We went to university at great expense, got the entry-level job, and then we looked around at what was actually being offered. And the jobs had had their wages outstripped by house values. Having children is off the cards if you can't afford a house. And most corporate jobs in cities mean you'll be living in a flat share well into your late 30s. If you can't afford to actively take part in society, then what's the point? Viewing your economic activity through the lens of nihilism really isn't that unreasonable. Which I think is feeding the huge benefit surge in young people. They aren't lazy, they just feel hopeless. I think once you take hope away, then ambition follows, then pride in your community, and it's finally every man for himself. And I see people say all the time, well, young people are still buying houses. But they aren't, their parents are. Everyone I know who's bought a house got the deposit from their parents. Dr. Eliza Philby has talked and written about this in her book Inheritocracy, really saying that it matters more who your parents are than what you actually do with your life. And I'm not saying you can't do it, but you either have to game the system or become an entrepreneur to make the amount of money needed. And having the opportunity to gamble on a business is a privilege in of itself. And I look at this generation of old people complaining that they paid into their state pension, and I'm both exasperated and a little jealous of their faith in the system. I don't expect the state pension to exist when I get to 70. And so it's ironic that this is the group of people most likely to believe that immigrants have ruined the UK. When actually, it's more accurate to say that it's the greed of the generation that came before us, and their continued wish to hoard their lives' plunder at the expense of the younger generations. It never fails to shock. But this, of course, is from the generation that heard Margaret Thatcher say, "There's no such thing as society."